All right, so Naya Feather here. Feather, for those that haven't played with this card when it was standard legal, this is still standard legal, right? Just like the supporting cast mostly disappeared. Anywho, Feather here says, whenever you play an instant or sorcery card that targets a creature you control, you get to exile it instead of putting it into your graveyard, and then you get it back into your hand at the end of the turn. So Feather is incredibly powerful with this card, Reckless Rage, which is a 1 mana removal spell that deals 4 damage to one of your opponent's creatures and 2 damage to one of yours. So this pairs really well with Feather, because Feather plus Reckless Rage basically lets you just like machine gun down your opponent's board. So in addition to Rage, we've got God's Willing and Defiant Strike, a Sheltering Light, Domri's Ambush, lots of different utility things that allow us to cast our spells or target our creatures with things. We have 10th District Legionnaire as another payoff for targeting our stuff. This gets to scry 1 and get bigger whenever we target it with something. We also have some Seasons of Growth here, which lets us scry when our creatures come into play, but also draw cards when we target those creatures with things. Bonecrusher Giant's a little bit of a non-bow with this deck because he does stomp our face when we target him with stuff, but he is just a threat that's also a removal spell, so as always, the deck list is on your screen. If you're someone who's been here a long time, please don't ask, hey, why aren't you playing this card when we're in fact actually playing that card? If you do that, I'm probably going to give you a break. Do your homework. Hey, Chobo Robot. Thank you for the brand new tier 1 sub. Welcome to Hoaglandia. Hope you're having a wonderful Friday wherever you're at in the world. Thanks for keeping me employed here. This hand's okay. Paradise Druid kind of showing its worth here. Fixing our mana a little bit. Fixing our colors. Why are we playing Elder Deep Fiend? Asking the real questions. All things are better with more Elder Deep Fiend. I hope they drop that card into this format at some point. I think that would be great. No blocks. That's a sweet draw. So with that draw, do I just Seasons of Growth here? I think so. I was going to do this and hold this up, but I think now I just Season and then play Dreadhorde Arcanist. Yeah, I think I'm in for another land here, especially another red source. Long-time viewer, first-time sub. Your MTG streams are fantastic. What are the main threats to this deck or bad matchups? I don't know, Chobo Roboto. So a lot of what we do here is playing decks that viewers have sent in. So this is, you're witnessing my first games with this deck in this format. So I have a little bit of experience with it from playing Standard, but that experience doesn't necessarily all translate over to this new format. I think I'm just going to try and race them here, especially with this God's Willing. That's a Feather. Alright, well I just like pump the brakes and hang out then? I'm definitely hitting with this. If I take 5 here, is that a big deal? Probably not. This was one of Corgi's submissions, yeah. Wargi put 3 different Feather variations into the deck queue. Yeah, maybe I should have left this back to be a little bit higher. Yeah, I don't really want to block with Paradise Druid because I want the mana from it the following turn. Do I keep this? I think I do. Yeah, I think I do. And then we'll go kill your thing, shoot this. We draw this. Reckless Rage comes back to our hand at end of turn. I go ahead and I shock this in, and then I pass. But it's 2 life higher, I'd be in a little bit better spot, but still pretty okay at the moment. They just like jam this Garrick here, we're gonna end them, basically. They have a Finality here. That's like, even Finality's not the end of the world, huh? Just because, like, this will survive and I'll kill their thing. The God's Willing here. God's Willing Reckless Rage just, like, puts them in a real bad squeeze, essentially. Casualties of War. Okay, so we're gonna say Reckless Rage. So we're definitely God's Willing this. We're gonna make this protection from green. I'm gonna bottom that. And then we're gonna go ahead and Reckless Rage. Target you, target you. I'm doing this in response here because I want to draw the cards from Seasons of Growth. And because this is protection from green, I get to block these as a free roll this turn too, and now these come back to my hand. That's a Gruul Spellbreaker. So let's start with Defiant Strike here on my 10th District Legionnaire, I think. I would love another Defiant Strike. Yeah, are we solidly in garbage? I don't know that we're like 100% in garbage time. We're like getting pretty close to it for sure. Oh, yeah, I should have targeted the Legionnaire to scry. Yeah. Sorry, autopilot on a bad mode. Finality and a Garrick can pull them back in. That's not even true, right? With this God's Willing? Wow, pretty unlucky. Have to discard. And, like, even if this makes 2 dogs here, like, I get to go Reckless Rage, shoot. Yeah, I can just shoot down all these things, right? Oh, and again, I should be targeting this so it gets bigger. Shh, ignore me. I know how magic works. Are they actually just dead next turn? I think they're actually just dead next turn, right? Pretty close. No, yeah, literally dead. Reckless Rage goes shoot you. And then Bonecrusher Giant, the other one. And then each of these do +2. I forgot how fun this deck is when it pops off. Oh, big aggro decks that draw cards, chat. They're my kink. That's what I'm looking. It's all I want to do in life is play aggro decks that draw cards. They're kinda my Space Jam. Yeah, there were a lot of right ways to eat that, Reese's. A lot of right ways to eat that, Reese's. I feel like Spellbreakers probably just gets gummed up a little bit here. I'm not sure that Sheltering Light is really necessary. I think God's willing. There's probably plenty of prediction. Reckless Rage is definitely great. Want my Domri's Ambush as removal. Maybe this is fine. I don't know. Gideon's better against control decks that don't play to the board. Same thing with Adanto. Like, these are our cards that come in against control decks that are, like, killing all of our stuff. This opponent's a little bit more of a mid-range deck, so we care about their creatures. I'm just going to submit like this. Just pretty minimalistic. I think this type of matchup tends to be good for us. Hoping to collect some positive feather energy before I go play Boros Feather at F&M tonight. No 0-3. Don't do it. Go get it. They're on the Explore package. Do we want Coil? I kind of feel like that's probably too much interaction. I don't know. I've got 7 removal spells. We can also just like we're not a low to the ground aggro deck. So like if Wildgrowth Walker pops off a little bit, we can also just like match it in card advantage and like going big like we did that game with 10th District Legionnaire. Maybe I'm just supposed to have more removal spells when I'm on the drop. If someone played this matchup a bunch and was like, I played this a bunch, you want Lava Coil, I'd believe them. But off the cuff, I'm not sure that I want to include that card here. Go get a mana symbol. We got you, Shadow Kid. Yeah, this is fine. Got 2 copies of the card the deck's named after. Hard to be too upset with it. Opponent's down to 5 cards here, I think. Yep. We'd love a 2-mana creature. Paradise Druid would be a great draw for this hand. They don't have more Explore creatures, so that's good for us. Hey, Blade Tycoon. Thanks for the 3rd of year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I did the thing and pushed the button. Yay, buttons. I think because I have 2 feathers, I just jam 1 here if I don't draw another threat. Maybe I'm supposed to wait till 4, just so I get value out of both of them. Yeah, maybe based on... I don't remember if I have a basic. I do not. Maybe because I have so many lands. Yeah, I think that was maybe a waste. Ooh, that's a good draw. Was that a good one, chat? The part where they play Vivian down tick, I God's willing, and they concede. What? Are you kidding me? Well, you know what they say, chat. The pride cometh before the fall. Vomit. Edict you. That's disgusting. Alright, 10th District Legionnaire. Let's go. Back up God's willing. Yep, let's do it. Alright. This. Kill your thing. Bottom it, let's go. Remember when this card was playable? Yeah, I do. Yeah, if you would have asked me to list all the possible 5-mana plays my opponent could have had, that definitely would not have made the cut. It's been a while. Alright, coffees for closers. And this 10th District Legionnaire is about to get himself a cup of joe, chat. Let's go. Let's go. Yep, let's go. Let's go! Grow, my precious, grow. This deck is just a total hoot when it pops off. Crunch. Storm is 3. Your turn. The very Defiant Legionnaire, ain't that the truth? Alright, don't play another Eldest Reborn, please. Don't do it. Alright, deal. Oh, it's just ain't right. Sure. Sometimes it's your turn to have all of the things, chat, you know? Sometimes it's your turn to just have all of the things. I'm glad we decided to do one more. I forgot how much I liked this deck. This'll probably be some iteration of Feather's gonna end up on the historic page of the website for sure. Guess archetype's just a treat to play. Yeah, probably top 10 hammer. The other two historic decks we played were pretty medium. It's Domri's Telegraph Frontal Assault. Accurate. I think I keep this. Nobody got time for that land? Haste it, yeah! That's what you like to, that's what I'm talking about. That is an excellent draw. So I just get to like Bonecrusher this, untapped land, Bonecrusher cast, untapped land, Feather with God's Willing up. Yeah, Bonecrusher Giant is like the only symmetrical card for an effect like that they printed in recent years. He is not happy when you get handsy. Not surprised to see them make that a 3-3 with my 4-3 lying in wait. Kilned Fiend. I feel like that card is individually weak enough that I'd be surprised if it's good. Okay. So God's Willing gives protection from a color of our choice. So, what do I want to do here? Pretty sure I block. Yeah, this is actually easy. We just go block. We God's Willing this. We give it pro red. 10th District Legionnaire is absurd. Stay right there. Oh no! Oh, Questing Beast! Oh no! Questing Beast! Why? Why, Questing Beast? Why? What did I ever do to you? Why do you come in here and spit on me like that? Oh no! Oh, Questing Beast! Oh, Questing Beast! Why? I've never been so hurt. Why you have to be so mean? Why you have to be so mean? Why, Questing Beast? Why? Why are you so many words? Why are there so many words? Man, that really sucks. That, like, really sucks. Oh, man, are we dead to that? We're just, like, dead to that, right? Wait, they didn't attack with the elf? Why didn't they attack with the elf? Alright, well, now we're not dead. That's nice. Thanks, I guess. Going to 1. That is not how Trample and Protection works. They have to assign 4 damage to this every time. So this absorbs all of it because it's a 4/4. Don't Bonecrusher me. God bless America! Stupid girl players and their stupid Bonecrusher Giant. I'm not salty, you're salty. Oh. All right, Season of Growth out. Moment of Triumph, extra removal in. Man, God's Willing is like actually kind of stains here, huh? It like is bad against Bonecrusher Giant and Questing Beast. Man, are we supposed to play more Sheltering Light and less God's Willing? Couldn't resub fast enough to warn you about Questing Beast Claws. Well, thanks for the 2 months at any rate. I appreciate it. Yeah, huh? I think it might actually be right not to play 4 of this card. Or at least not all 4 in the main. I think there's enough Questing Beasts in this format that I want another Sheltering Light. At least Questing Beast glowed when he screwed you over, so you weren't sitting there wondering why it all went wrong. Ain't that the truth? We knew why we were dead. Yeah, the protection gets hosed by both Questing Beast and, yeah. Yeah, I think that's probably a fine keep. Alright, if they don't kill this next turn, we're gonna have one of my favorite possible starts. Hopefully they just play 1 creature here, and then we get to go land, Legionnaire, Reckless Rage, kill both their things. Feels like they have a shock. Yeah, I left 2 of the God's Willing in here, so like, I don't think you cut them all together, but I do think they are worse than like the auto 4 of that they once were, right? Maybe this is too aggressive with this. I don't know. If they play bigger things, these Pelt Collectors grow up. He's dead, Jim. You've murdered him. It's a decent one for later. Yeah, spells are only countered upon resolution if they lose all targets. You think you can block my 10th District Legionnaire? It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Put the fear in them, chat. They're scared. Red Rover, let Zertok come over. Alright, so they're about to cleave my ass, right? Yep. Alright. So, during my upkeep, we're going to Moment of Triumph here. We're doing this during the upkeep so I can scry before I draw. And so it keeps the bonus this turn. Reckless Rage. Is that a good one, chat? Do we think Reckless Rage is good? Reckless Rage. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Reckless Rage. Boo-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Yeah. This deck's been good television at least. Would you believe that I haven't restarted Magic Arena yet today, and that's why it's lagging incessantly. So we're gonna give it the old client kick here in a minute. Add some Sheltering Light, restart the client, and Sheltering. I don't believe you. This is a release-ready product. I don't believe you. This is the premier Wizards client. You're not wrong. Premier Magic the Gathering client. Magic the Gathering Arena. Arena. Alright, gotta try and win the aggro meter on the draw. It's a tall order. Hopefully they mulligan. Oh, feels 3-color, man. Okay. Okey-doke. Hoping to draw a 3rd land here, but I definitely like all of these spells. Ideally, I'd like to play this with Gods Building up on 3, or like Lava Coil their 2-drop, and then play this with Gods Building up on 3. That's rather scary. Less scary. Less scary. Yeah, we're just like never gonna see a 3rd land after I bottomed one. Correct, Pizza. Cleave also just like doesn't have any synergy with anything our deck is doing. So like, this deck already struggles to like have the right mixture of like spells each game. So like any spell that you want to play that's like not helping that mixture tends to be bad. Sweet. Little bit late, but probably still early enough that we're okay here. We're only running 22 lands, so I assume we'll find the 3rd one. Now, if we're running 26, it would never happen. Accurate. Huh? I think I'm bottoming that. This is a free block because I'm pro red. So they'll trample for 2. So get to ambush again, finish this off, get rid of their threat, grow ours. This is on a Lava Coil range now, which is great. Yeah, no Blossoming Defense in this format is sad. Yeah, that's part of the reason why I've got a split with Reckless Rage and Ambush in the main deck. We did technically cast an Ambush at instant speed. We did technically do that. Maybe this is wrong to flash that back, because if they hit Questing Beast, I no longer have an answer to Questing Beast. It might be right to just, like, Moment of Triumph here. That's sweet. Yes, Teferi stops Dreadhorde, because that card's a Rancid Stain. Teferi, not Dreadhorde. Did I just miss lethal? I just missed lethal, right? Yeah, I could have double momented. This is only +3/+3. Yeah, 10 out of 10 willing to do Feather and Pioneer Alcohol. I think they're probably still dead here. But I definitely could have killed them that turn. I could have momented this. It would have given it +3/+3, and then I would have flashed back and momented it again. All right. I'm going to restart the client really quick. These people are great. Buy their stuff. Thanks everyone for hanging out today. If you're a new viewer, my name is Jeff Hoagland. I stream full-time here on Twitch. Here doing Magic and other card games 30, 40, sometimes even 50 hours a week. As always, great shout out to my subs. I wouldn't be here getting down without their support, so thanks to all of them for keeping me employed. I'd also like to plug a couple of the wonderful sponsors here really quick. BCW Supplies does great card accessories using code HOAGLANDIA at bcwsupplies.com. You save 10% on all of your purchases there with them. Cardsphere.com is a peer-to-peer trading network that will help you turn your paper cards into their cards direct with other players. There's no haggling. They just take 1% fee off the top. InkedGaming.com will love to help you customize your gaming experience using code Jeff12. You save 12% on custom playmats, mouse pads, binders, and bags with them. And the Nerd Rage Gaming Championship Series actually has their penultimate tournament for the year with, I believe it's 24 competitors or 16, some small number of players playing Pioneer, Modern, and Legacy, streaming all weekend. So be sure to check them out streaming tomorrow at twitch.tv/NRG series. How many creatures are in this deck? We have 21. I think I want another Sheltering Light in the 75 because of Rude Dude. Do I need Growl Spellbreaker? Previously, we only played 20 creatures. What if I, like, cut the Spellbreaker, just, like, add another Bonecrusher Giant? I know Giant's, like, not amazing with because he hurts us, but in most games, he probably shouldn't matter anyways, right? Totally reasonable. Thank you for the 2-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I think I'm happy with that. Let's try that. Am I planning on playing in another paper NRG event in the foreseeable future? I don't have any paper events on my schedule currently. Beast, question mark? Breaker hedges Settle. Yeah, Settle's not really a card people are playing. In my experience so far. Those are the words of a man about to get Settle the Wreckage, just in case anyone was wondering. Yeah, Bonecrusher's just like a great card, right? It's definitely accurate. This hand has a little bit of the wrong half problem going on. We don't have anything to target our dorks with, but I've got a Scryland. Perfect. And even if we didn't find that, like, the 10th District Legionnaire into Feather is, like, relatively aggressive. Drawing a non-green land there feels... Oh, my God. Oh, I've just given them a great... I've given them a great chance. And by that, I mean, very obviously, I just wanted to play this with Sheltering Light up. That's definitely... I didn't want them to have a removal spell, chat. I'm playing around, I don't know, something. That's funny. So not only do we not have the mana to cast Beast consistently, but again, Beast is bad for our deck because it makes our protection cards not work. It's like the card's a direct non-bow with our deck. Oh, is it? It's not. Is it one-sided? How the flip is this card the only card that's symmetrical? Their designs are so rancid in the last couple of years. How is that card with all of the things it does one-sided, but this card isn't? Can we get like an ounce of consistency in this game? Is that so much to ask? It's green, so it's not, yeah. All right, this ramps them, which is unfortunate, I guess. That I still don't have green mana for, huh? Awkward. All right, sweet. So if they block here, they get to kill my thing. Blocking doesn't even, it just lets them draw a card because this will save it. So I put a stop on my end step here. So this way, I can go ahead and do this and get a scry here, which is great. And then both of these come back. And then during my end step, after these come back, before we pass back to them, I'm going to go ahead and Reckless Rage this again. Because the Reckless Rage comes back, so they get to draw another card, but I do kill the Ripjaw Raptor. Alright, we're dead. Got it. Playing my wrong land on turn 2 meant we were just super far behind. I guess they had a shock. So it probably didn't matter that much. I could have played this out though. Huh? Playing our deck full of damage-based removal against their deck full of enraged creatures is not stellar though. That's for sure. Bonecrusher, excuse me, doesn't kill much of their stuff. Collision Colossus sounds fine. Give this a go. Oh, they had a rage. Yeah, you're right. It was a rage, wasn't it? Yeah, you super, right? I mean, obviously I should have played a 2-drop on 2. Dragged the wrong land into play and got messed up because of it. We're hoping to find any other creature to play on turn 3, so that way we can play this on 4 and use Reckless Rage with it. We don't want to play it out before 4, because that gives my opponent an opportunity to kill it before I get any value with it. So if we just draw a brick next turn, we're going to go tap Sacred Foundry, pass. That's the thing, I guess. Huh. Well, I was just gonna do this right away, But now I have God's Willing here, so we're just going to save that to protect it. We get to untap here. We should be in a pretty unreal spot. Sure. I did put a second Shelter Light in. The deck list on your screen is current. When I update the deck mid-set, it gets updated on the Stream Decker. Our Voltron is mostly assembled here. They're at 12. We've got removal spells lined up. We've got a protection spell. So they have Reckless Rage here. So I'm gonna cast this. Hey, Alcar, thanks for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome to Hooglandia. Thanks for keeping me employed this month with that. Are they dead? We do this. Into... This is 2, 8, 12. Yeah. Yep. They are infected. They're dead. They're dead to like known information, right? Because they know about the God's Willing here. So this happens, and then I God's Willing this pro green. So they can't block it. Yep. I think I'm happy with how I boarded. Maybe Reckless Rage isn't good enough. The season was real good there. Let us see a lot of extra cards. Cindervines super impressive. It was not the best, eh? This hand's very good. We have Druid into turn 3 Feather Hold Up Protection is super sweet. I think they wanted to just use Cindervines as a way to pressure my life total, which seems like an interesting goal. I think Become Immense and the Pioneer version, that's probably not necessary. I don't know, I'd have to sit down and look at like what your slots are. I'd be surprised if you want much more than just Blossoming Defense. And even then, I'm honestly not even sure if you like need to be Naya in the Pioneer version. Like, is Blossoming Defense even worth it? Is a real question, I think. They have a Reckless Rage. I think I'm dead here. I don't think I can take 9 damage, though. Okay, so I think we do this. We do this. We go Reckless Rage, UU. Team or Battle Raging 10th District Legionnaire. Yeah, that's probably great. Am I in for a land here? I feel like I'm not. I just have a bunch of 1-mana spells. I kind of want like a Collision Colossus. That has haste. Probably still not necessary. Did the stream title not update? Stream title says Naya Feather. Thank you very much. I feel like I should hold this back in case they have a random haste thing that I can't kill that I'm like not thinking of. What could they have? They don't have Naya, so they can't have the 7/6. Is there anything that punishes me for attacking with the feather here? I feel like there's not. Anyone think of anything that I'm missing? Regisaur, I'm gonna get a Reckless Rage back. They can get the haste 5/5 plus Colossus. And I have them dead next turn anyways. So I'm just going to go ahead and just attack for 6 here. Just in case they have some random combination of things that could kill me. So I feel like there's no reason to be aggressive here. I feel like we're in can't lose territory. I'd prefer not to make a mistake. Like know about it. And when you get into this position against the feather deck, it's just like, it's pretty demoralizing, honestly. You're just like, you know they have all the things, you just can't do anything about it. It's like all of our Doom Blades are like face up in our hand, and all they can do is just get mowed down by them. We're gonna play 1 or 2 more matches with this to wrap up our Magic segment today. We're gonna roll on into a little bit of Mythgard to close things out for the week. I don't think we've lost a match. We have lost a game. Definitely leading on Paradise Druid here, since we have so much protection for this 10th District Legionnaire. I think I'm gonna just kill their thing and be aggressive here. Pretty sure I just want to hold up a protection spell for this in case they have Murderous Rider or something like that. Legion's End. The gods would prefer if this stayed where it was. Thank you. Think I just do this to keep them off of Anissa next turn. Also lets me scry. I think again, I'm going to go ahead and hold up a Sheltering Light here. Yeah, Legion's End is interesting, especially in a good bless America. Oh, that's a huge tilt. This is not God's willing. That's super unfortunate. Well, sometimes I swear the shuffler is screwing with me. Yeah, this is, like, this card's not very good in this format, I don't think, but sometimes they just have your number, chat. Sometimes they want it more than you do, and they're just gonna get you. I wonder if they don't know that Field of the Dead got banned. Because, like, if Field of the Dead was legal, Legion's End is quite good, right? Maybe they didn't get the memo. Sure. I'm gonna concede when they cast Nissa next turn, probably. Vraska, Relic Seeker, sure. Yeah, that one's probably pretty close to unbeatable, too. Yeah, we're pretty done here. Legion's End was a rough beat there. Definitely want max Reckless Rage, keep the board in check here. Yeah, I don't know really what I want to cut. Maybe it's just a Bonecrusher Giant. Probably just a Bonecrusher Giant. Except against like hard control, you don't board a whole lot with this deck. If they're playing a deck that has creatures that you care about, boarding is pretty minimal. Yeah, that was 2 game 1 Legion's End. Gideon's for creature light control decks that are playing lots of removal. Gideon's explicitly not good in this matchup because our opponent's gonna have a lot of creatures that can attack him. So Gideon's basically a threat that they can attack to death, which makes him not ideal here. Yeah, Esper or Jeskai. The blue-white base control decks are where Adanto and Gideon are good. The bottom of that, at this point, Dreadhorde Arcanist is a little bit worse when we have Feather out, and we're just like looking for more things to go with these. Sure. That actually doesn't matter, because I get to play Feather, flash back what they take, and bring it back to my hand with Feather's trigger here. So unless they have Black Source kill my Dreadhorde Arcanist, the stress is irrelevant. Sick. In. Yeah, I kept a little bit of a speculative hand over there. Yeah, I think we're gonna have a hard time losing from here, especially if we untap and draw. If we draw an untapped land, we're pretty likely a lock. I don't know, I suppose they could have, like, removal spell, untap removal spell here. I think I'm actually just gonna let this happen. So I wanna keep Dreadhorde Arcanist alive. Because if it gets to pick the Domri's ambush back up, they probably can't win. Lucky, 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 Siri. Alright, so really just want to draw an untapped land here. Perfect. So we get to go play, feather, flashback, Domri's ambush, feather shoots this. Our lands are very pretty, okay? I agree. So they kept a little bit of an ambitious hand there and got punished. I'm happy with how I boarded. To try one on the draw now. Been a good run. Easy historic deck of the day. I would like to draw. Well, I wouldn't, but I will. Alright, in. Hand wants some ways to target our creatures. Pretty reasonable all around, though. Probably lead on Paradise Druid here. Since they just passed with mana up, not give them a target for the removal spell. Hopefully this is a 3-2, so we get to Bonecrusher Giant it. That's a 4-3. Awkward. Alright, dear opponent, please don't Legion's End my 10th District Legionnaire. Is Legion's ending the Legionnaire? Feels like super on flavor, huh? Alright, should I concede now? Are we dead? I feel like we're dead. This card is, I think this card's a really bad design too, all things considered. I think the fact that it, like, takes cards out of the opponent's hand is, not only does it feel bad, but there's just no way to play around it, right? Like, you actually just have 0 lines to play around that card. You can't hold back and not get blown out, and you can't play into it and not get blown out. Your cards just aren't safe if you draw them. Need more brainstorm? Yikes. Yeah, that would be a good balance for it. I big agree with that. If it had the draw card for everyone taking this way clause, that would be super reasonable. Why this random 2-mana removal spell, like, gives you card advantage on undodgeable card advantage is kind of nonsense. Well, I mean, if they have a removal spell or anything, I'm just dead. So I'm gonna play this and hope they have nothing. I think the attacking the graveyard part of it is fine as, like, a graveyard hate card. I'm gonna concede to a Domri's ambush here. Burning Tree Emissary was a reasonable addition to this format. Good quality ad. Season of Growth's probably too slow here. God's Willing's a little awkward in the face of Questing Beast and their stomps. Bring in the extra rage and a collision, I think. Here's how you make a bear playable, make it free. Not only free, but that card's good in a lot of other places because it also gives double devotion, right? Like, that part's super relevant about it. That card's probably going to be in a lot of offensive things when the devotion mechanic comes back in Theros. Looking for an untapped land here. Yeah, it also randomly fixes mana. Super accurate. Well, the good news is we're rapidly approaching the lockout here. God bless America. Well, I need to remember to put a stop on their second main. Sheltering Light. I don't think I need that while I have God's Willing. So, I don't get my God's Willing back until the end of my term. That's not too big of a deal. So to go ahead and Domri's ambush here. I'm gonna go ahead and shock this in, play Dreadhorde Arcanist, and then next turn, Feather can start Domri's ambushing down their Love-Struck Beast. And get both of these back. Ambush. Ambush definitely always feels worth the green splash in this deck to me. At least when it was in Standard, that was the case. So we're gonna get attacked for 5 this turn, but then, like, this is gonna kill one of these, and I'm gonna have a 5/6 in play that they can never do anything about. I'm blocking God's Willing. Yeah, Druid. Druid has also been great. Druid was a card that I didn't really play in this archetype when it was Standard legal, and I'm thinking after playing these games that was probably a mistake. The turn 2 Druid, turn 3 Feather with Thing Up just feels like pretty unbeatable. I think the opponent went to 5. Let's see. Moment of Triumph's like life neutral with this Bonecrusher Giant. Like gains you 2 and he deals you 2. All right, so they have Embercleave and we're dead. Is what I'm sensing. So I do this. I do this. Bonecrusher Giant is not happy, but their thing is dead. Go. All right, we needed that. We needed that one. We needed the one they took. Well, you know. Technically not dead yet. God, we'd be so far ahead if we'd have drawn the card they took. And we're dead. Would have died anyways. Well, that was a bit of a rough end to an otherwise good set. I'd like to address a comment in chat that I think is a mindset thing more than a actual issue with the deck. Someone commented that Bonecrusher feels anti-synergistic with what this deck is doing. So you need to think of Bonecrusher Giant not as a creature that's bad with our deck. You need to think of Bonecrusher Giant as a removal spell that happens to give us a creature sometimes, even if it's not the best one for our deck. So if we were only looking to play this card to be another threat in our deck, you're right. This would be a bad one because we have a lot of things that target our stuff, and that feels really bad and it hurts us. But we're playing this card because it's a removal spell. And the fact that it's randomly a creature too, even if it's one with a drawback, think about Bonecrusher Giant as, rather than he was a creature that hurt us, just be happy he was a creature at all. Like, all of those instances, if Bonecrusher Giant had just been a removal spell, we'd just be dead, right? We'd have no threat and we'd die most of the time. This card, while you're correct, it has anti-synergy with what our deck is trying to do. It's a card that's flexible enough to alleviate that wrong half problem enough of the time that I definitely think it's worth the inclusion. It's similar to how I had someone comment on one of my Pioneer videos the other day that they felt the castles were awkward in the black aggro deck. And I was like, well, you need to think about the castles not as a land that comes into play tapped, but as a spell that sometimes makes mana. So the hands that, like the castles, make double tapped land slow starts, those hands would just be mulligans if that castle was a spell. So it's a perception thing about what the slot is doing. So like you're looking at this card, and if you look at it as only doing one thing and it's bad at that one thing, you're right, it's not worth playing. But we're not playing these cards that are modal because of just that one point. We're playing them because they're flexible and do a variety of things. All in all, I think I'm pretty happy with where we ended up at. Hey Huey, thanks for the raid. Hope you had a good stream today. But have a sword. I'm not sure you've been in chat before, so. No, it's a good question. All right, what are we doing? We are gonna go ahead and call it a day with Magic. We're gonna do a little bit more stream stuff. I'm gonna wrap up with some Mythgard though. People that haven't seen that before, that is a fully digital card game that is available on Steam as well as Android and iOS. I'm gonna get that